here's what they don't mention can happen when you plan a trip to Antarctica. In January 2023, I was supposed to go with my family, flying from Punta Arenas, Chile, to meet our ship near King George Island on the Antarctic Peninsula. But the landing strip at the military base down there is visual approach only, and despite being on call 24 hours a day for nearly 4 full days, the weather was bad enough that they were unable to fly us down. We ultimately made other plans to visit the nearby Falkland Islands for a week that ended up actually being really special, but in the meantime, we had some unexpected time to kill in Punta Arenas. On the plus side, our extra days meant we could sample a lot more food and do some tourist activities in and around the city. There's a whole neighborhood by the water based around tourism and especially catering to people on trips like us who were in town before or after their Antarctic expeditions. Professionals too, like the crew from the RRS Sir David Attenborough of the British Antarctic Survey, which was docked right outside our hotel. And in maybe the best fun fact I've ever interjected into one of my videos, I found out later that this is the original Bodie McBoatface. You remember when everyone was freaking out about that poll in 2016? This is the ship that was being named. They ultimately did not choose it. Anyway, we were put up in the Hotel Dreams, which was certainly the biggest hotel in the area, the biggest building by far, and it included a pretty large casino and honestly an impressive indoor pool and gym. Unfortunately, we only expected to be at the hotel for possibly less than a day, and every day we stayed longer, I started to dislike it more and more. Maybe not really their fault, but it is what it is. One day, the expedition company paid for us to visit the Magellan Strait Park down along the coast. This had a small museum and cafe, and then a ways further down the road, a historic fort and some walking trails. None of these things were particularly great, but it was something to do. I think my favorite part was just getting out to walk along the beach and short hiking trails. There were some cannons and a cool tree. Another day, Sydney and I decided to sign up for a whale watching trip, but they did not make it an easy choice.
Okay, for posterity, it is 3:51 a.m. outside of the Dreams Hotel in Punta Arenas. Sydney and I are awake and going to start the whale watching, which meets at 4 a.m. So presumably the whales only jump out of the water at 5:36 a.m. because that's the only explanation for why it's that early.
The timing combined with how the bus dropped us off on the side of a random road where the boat had just run aground to pick us up did feel a little like we were preparing to be smuggled across a border, but it was actually a really nice catamaran with not too many people on it. The early start was because we were sailing a good couple hours each way to get where we were going and saw a lot of scenery along the sides of the strait, including the fort and hiking paths that we had just been at the other day. That was kind of cool. I'm now super spoiled by the Falklands, but at the time we thought the animal encounters here were pretty cool. There were seals and dolphins in the water, sea lions on the shores, big bird colonies. We actually saw our first penguins of the trip here too, some Magellanics pretty far away, kind of chilling on the shore, but also like up in trees in the brush of an island, which we thought was weird. And of course, whales. It is a whale watching trip. If the guides are to be believed, it was actually a really lucky day as they breached multiple times for us. I, of course, got only a splash on video, though Sydney got a still of that particular one. Regardless, we saw a number of humpback whales, which was pretty cool. All right, I have to comment on the lunch situation. We have hot, let's say gnocchi bolognese, which is very impressive, provided with juice, orange juice box, and a cup of Parmesan cheese. So on the one hand, that's pretty impressive. On the other hand, the orange juice is weird. The ultimate destination of the trip is a glacier that they visit. On the way, while approaching it, the water fills with like mini icebergs, and they actually go out with a big net and drag up pieces to show people, and of course to take a picture with. Plus, they then use that glacial ice to make, let's say, adult beverages that they hand out. To paraphrase my friend Aditya, they had excellent clarity. And on the way back, they let me sit in the pilot's chair up front, like when they let 5-year-olds in the cockpit of airplanes. I really like that a lot. Anyway, Punta Arenas is over 100,000 people, and it's known for being like a gateway to Antarctica as one of the world's most southerly ports. So there's a lot of beaches, maritime stuff like this, and monuments to ocean exploration. I swear half of everything down there seem to be named after Magellan, including the whale watching boat. Being real here, it's not a place that I think needs more than a couple days to check out, but if you're stuck, and you make the most out of it. There's a lot of nature that's day trippable from the city, so that's what I'd point people to. We did an amazing hike in the couple days beforehand, and if we had known, we would have spent more time there, I think. Regardless, I guess joke's on me because we already have tickets to go back next year to try and make it to Antarctica again. I just miss the Dreams Hotel so much, so we got to go back. Wish us luck.